If I was to show off my ninja skill by taking off my shirt and having light up eyes, I'm pretty sure I'd clear a room. And not in a good way. Hey toy fanatics, so I'm here with another retro review. So I've been having this big kick of old toys, really getting into a lot of stuff from the 90s that kind of get overlooked. One of which is one of Kenner's lines from 1994 from the movie The Shadow with Alec Baldwin. So this is Ninja Shadow, shirtless Ninja Shadow. Hello. And he's got a ton of accessories. I'm hoping that he will not break Jeff's rule of action figures with accessories, because it looks like he's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So 7 extra pieces that come with them. So that's quite a bit for an action figure. So I figured we would jump into this, take a look, see if it was worth our while. If you've never seen the movie, it's actually kind of fun. Weird though, because it's a PG-13 rating, and it's kind of a hard PG-13. I know it's suggested now, I think on Vudu, like 14 and up, because there's some gore and some questionable stuff in there. So I could imagine, I don't know, I can't imagine a 14-year-old or 13-year-old really wanting to play with toys, but if I hadn't been into Ninja Turtles so much back then, I probably would have picked this up. Yeah, let's jump into it. Let's see what we got here.
Tay Ray Gun's Old School Toy Review.
And this is our Shadow, Ninja Shadow with rapid strike chopping action. I love the look of this thing overall. I think it's a cool looking figure on card, and I think it displays nicely. So let's have a look at the front and really kind of get a good idea of what's going on here. Now with the front, just like what Kenner has done for the most part, you've got a nice Shadow logo up at the top, and then the nice kind of movie premiere picture of him, the way that they did it towards the end of the credits. And we get a nice drawing on the side of the Ninja Shadow figure itself, striking out in really nice, bold blue and kind of purple and green colors. On the back, we get cross-cell art of the other figures within the line. And then at the bottom, of course, we get a few little burps about the action features of this particular toy. Now, a few things about this. Of course, we got the logo up here at the top for the Shadow, so we know what toy line it's from. And it's actually from the movie from 1994, The Shadow, starring Alec Baldwin. And Alec Baldwin as the Shadow, of course. They've got this nice art up here that resembles the ending art from the movie itself. So when he turns around, he's got his hypnotic eyes, and we see the kind of outline. It's supposed to be very comic book-esque. We get the same thing up here at the top. Now we know that this is the Ninja Shadow with rapid strike chopping action. We get a nice little picture of him, you know, with nunchucks flipping him around. Of course, he's shirtless in this, which is an interesting sort of look for the Shadow, but I kind of dig it. I think it works. And then of course we get to see the Shadow himself, the Ninja Shadow, in his garb here with his red ninja pants, which is kind of cool, hat, his cloak, and then of course an array of weapons and a belt for him to store some of his. I'm hoping this one won't break Jeff's action figure rule of having too many accessories, not being able to hold them all. From the logo up here, we get a nice color work of that purple and kind of red green, which is cool colors versus warm colors, which is really nice. It plays off very well and makes it very eye-catching. Now when we go to the back, of course, we get another repeat of the Shadow logo up here. We get a cross-cell art of figures within line. Now these are all the basic figures that came out, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, and then one deluxe figure. Out of these, I know I've got Ninja and I've got the transparent invisible Shadow, so that'd be cool to look at both, which I'm doing Ninja today. Then of course we get 2 of the Shadow vehicles. Technically we get 3 because the Shadow cab is also a part of his network. In the movie we see the cab and we actually don't see these, but we do see this. And then of course one of Shuan Khan's Mongol warrior motorbikes. Okay, and then of course there's a little bit of blurb about everything, including the story up here. At the bottom, we do have some images here that talks about the different things that this Ninja Shadow can do, with the pulling the legs together to make him flip, the cloak, and having the weapon store into his back. So lots of really cool features for him. Now that's the package, and the package is going to tell us anything else about it. We need to open it up and see what's inside. And this is the Ninja Shadow outside the package. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you, coming out of the package, it looks really good, but it's not one of those that doesn't have any faults to it. And we'll get into that when we start breaking down everything about it. But I like the overall look of this. I really feel like it's colorful and playful. Even though it has a predominantly black and red palette, there's touches of gold and even skin tones in there that make this very fun. And the action feature works actually fairly well. One thing to note, he does hold on to everything, which is good because he does not break Jeff's golden rule of action figures of having more accessories than they can carry or handle. And really, everything that he has here, because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accessories, but they all fit to him somehow. Kenner is actually known for having, their figures hold all the accessories or having enough accessories with the figure that it's not too much. Let's take a closer look at him. Okay, with this particular figure, we've got nunchucks, we've got a bow staff, we've got 2 sais, a belt, a hat, and a cloak here. And all the pieces fit to him really well, and they're made of a pretty good plastic. His action feature, he squeezes his legs and he flips around his nunchucks. It's just pretty cool. We've seen this before with other figures like Swamp Thing and a few others that have had that kind of karate kicking, punching sort of thing. He does come with this bow staff, and it's a very metallicized, very unique looking bow staff, but it's very simplistic, kind of Art Deco in a way. Same with the nunchucks. They're very simple, but, metallic, and they look, fairly modern, but smooth like Art Deco. Then we get this hat. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. This hat has a hole in it, and the reason why it has a hole in it is because the hat itself has a clear spot that allows his eyes to light up. Ooh, hypnotic eyes. It's hard to see there, but when you put that hat on, there you go. And then you get those hypnotic eyes. Wow, looky there. That is so much fun. And it's something that Kenner's done in the past, including with the T-800 Terminator, which I absolutely love. I think it's such a cool play feature. It's a lot of fun. Now with that, you also get this hood. It's split apart kind of in the front. Now this one's a little stiff. There we go. Get them out. And with, you got a plastic hood that's got the cape on it, and inside the cape, it's kind of a gold material. At first I thought of Robin, and then I started looking at it more, and I'm like, it's actually meant to be gold instead of yellow. So, something to keep in mind there. And of course here you got the plastic sculpting on the back, just to kind of flow into the rest of the soft goods material that Kenner's known to do. After that, you get 2 sais. 1, 2, and much like the nunchucks and the bow staff, they are also very simple, smooth, Art Deco-esque, and they're just simplicity. Pretty cool. Got handles for you to hold it. And he holds them all fairly well. And then lastly, you get this belt. Now this belt's unique because it has a spoke in the front. It actually has a bit of a loop here. And then on the back, it's got a spot for you to put both sides. Now let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accessories, and all of them hold very well to them. Now as far as the figure itself, the figure seems kind of like a generic ninja at this point. I mean, I like to think of like the muscled guy in the Mortal Kombat movie that came out and did all the flexing to show off his muscles. He had a hood, pants, and some sort of belt on, and that was it. He kind of reminds me of that. But it's supposed to be Alec Baldwin. I guess in the long run, you got Alec Baldwin's eyebrows? I'm sure the actual Lamont figure looks more like him. Now with this, he has, of course, his jumpers here, his ninja jumpers, and they're cuffed at the bottom with a little bit of texture there. We got his tabby boots, so they actually have the toe notch sculpted down on it. We've got this wrap belt, and of course all of his muscles. Hey! And then we've got his arm like this. Now, one cool thing to note is his arm does have that trigger finger, and the reason why is because he actually, if you get a shadow that has the gun, you can put that in his hand, and that will line up with the gun for his shooting hand. Now, one thing to note with the eye light up, his head does not turn. There's no neck articulation at all. It's something that I guess they could have done. Let's compare it with another in the Kenner line. Now, I know I mentioned scale, and I wanted to bring it up and actually look at it. So it pairs up with the 5.5-inch line very well. So this I would put in the 5.5-inch line. Now, other than Terminator, a line that a lot of us know, the RoboCop. Now, the RoboCop sat at a 4-inch line. Obviously, there's a big difference between them, so kind of hard to cross-universe those. And the same with our beloved Waterworld. Waterworld was a 4.5-inch, so it kind of sized more RoboCop. This one kind of towers over it. So with the Shadow, we're thinking, more the Predator, Aliens, Terminator. They're all kind of the same size at that 5.5-inch scale line. Here, let's gear him back up. I think this is a cool figure all in all. And this is, one of those figures that if you're going to get one, this might be one really to consider. All right, that's a review of them. I will say, I will say all in all, I think he's a lot of fun. There were a few minor quibbles about it that I just wasn't sure about. At first, I really wasn't sure about the shirtless look of him, but I think it works. I think it's all in all a very cool figure. Do I think it's a definitive figure for the Shadow line? No. But if you're only able to get one, this might be a fun one to have. I know the clear one's on the way. I think that would probably be another fun one to have. But this one's entertaining. It really is. It's one of those that if I didn't have any of the others, I'd probably put this in like a frame so people can go, what is that? Because this is like one of those weird toys that if you don't know what it's from, it just seems so strange to have. I like him. He's fun. So with him, I think he's a good figure. Let's talk cost on this. I ended up being able to pick this up on card, and the card is actually pretty good shape for about $9. And I did a pretty good deal. Most of these I've seen run at about $15 or so. So, I was able to get a really nice good deal on them, even with shipping included. So that $9 for me, I'm gonna go put them up above $1 sign for this. I think $9 was a really good price for it. Now stars on this, I will go ahead and say with the head not moving, and one thing I will say, originally the belt seemed kind of weird, like on the back. The package has it to where you have the size go in on the back. I kind of like it with the front, and I feel like it doesn't hinder this play feature quite as much with it being up front. So that's something to turn around. So originally I was going to have half a star for that, but because it fixed itself out, the only problem I have about this, the cowl being a little too hard to get around his head, so the split in it doesn't split enough to get over his head very well, and then the head not moving. That's it. That's the only problems I have with this figure. Other than that, I think he's an awesome figure. The play feature works well. The articulation on it is fine for what we get for $94. I think this is a really cool figure, and he has all of his accessories being able to be shown. I like the gold tones against the red. It's a cool figure. I'm gonna go, even with that quibble about his head, I'm gonna say that this is a 5-star figure. I think this is well worth it. It's a cool one to have. If you're looking for like a vintage toy line, it's Kenner, so you're getting something quality there. It's Shadow, so it's kind of some old school gun-toting comic book hero sort of thing, and he's a ninja. The whole thing is a lot of fun, and it's definitely worth checking out. Remember, they're not dolls, they're shirtless, eye-glowing, nunchuck-flipping action figures. This episode of Tay Ray Gun was sponsored by Marvin Dog Media. To learn more about Marvin Dog Media, visit www.marvindogmedia.com. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below to let YouTube know that you like what I'm making. And be sure to hit that bell notification so you get updates to future content.